You're testing a new ad campaign for your dog training business, an online pay-per-click ad campaign, be it Google Ads or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, whatever it is. You're running an ad campaign and you're asking yourself, how long do I need to run this ad campaign before I start seeing results? Well, I'm going to share my thoughts with you in just a moment. My name is Adam Katz for DogTrainerToolbox.com. If you haven't yet, subscribe to our free Dog Trainer Marketing newsletter where you will be hip to the latest and greatest tools, tactics, strategies, and techniques for growing your dog training business. It is by far the greatest thing you will ever read in your entire life. Hands down, by far. Better than the Bible, better than that Star Wars trilogy you have at your mom's house. As many of you know, in addition to a long history of owning 3 different dog training businesses over the past 30 years and a dog training subscription membership website that ended up making us over $6 million, the past 6 or 7 years, I owned a Google Ads management company that helped well over 100 dog training business owners get more leads, get more desperate dog owners to pick up the phone and call them by using Google Ads. Last June, I handed over my book of June of 2022, in case you're watching this in the future. I handed over my book of clients to my lead tech so that I could focus on our Done For You dog training business website offer. The question has come up a couple of times over the last month. How long would you advise clients when you were running ads before they knew whether or not they had a winning campaign or not? So to cut straight to the chase, here's my advice. You should know, without a doubt, by the end of the first month. Now, ideally, I would shoot for a 7 to 9 times return on investment. I would find acceptable a 3 times return on investment. If you're just doubling your money, you're working too hard to pay Google and to pay your Google Ads manager. That being said, in some cases, in some very competitive markets, if you're able to cover your costs, the investment of the ad spend budget and the management fee, and you've broken even, you may decide it may make sense to roll the dice and run it for 1 additional month and see if you can get into that positive ROI territory. Again, positive ROI being defined by me as at least the bare minimum of 3 times ROI, ideally 7 to 9 times or greater. So that's my advice on ROI. How soon should you start seeing results? Well, like I said, within the first month. Typically you should start getting leads within the first week. If you're spending, like my rule of thumb, generally speaking, depends on the market. Again, there's qualifiers here, but generally speaking, if you're spending $1,000 in ad spend, I would expect between 28 to 33 leads over the period of a month. If you're spending $2,000 a month, maybe you're in a little bit bigger market, so there's more traffic available for you to buy. But if you're spending $2,000 a month, then you should be seeing, on average, a couple of leads per day. Some days you might get 3 or 4 leads, some days you might get 0 or 1, but over the course of 30 days, you should get about plus or minus 50 to 60 leads. So that's what you should expect. If by the end of the first month, you haven't gotten that, shut that shit off because it ain't working. There's something wrong. And we would find this. We helped well over 100 dog training business owners become 6- and 7-figure dog training business owners. And I don't take credit for that. It's 100% on them. But what we find is that we could use the same ad campaign, the same copy, even the same landing pages when we were using landing pages, which I don't recommend anymore. I recommend you send it to your website and have a website that really converts well, i.e. check out our Done For You dog training business website at DogTrainerToolbox.com. But you could have an identical campaign, identical management, identical bid strategy, everything identical, negative keyword list, the whole thing, right? And you could have it in one city and it would do great. And then you could try and run it in another city and it would just bomb. So typically these ad campaigns would work really, really well most of the time. In some cases, they'd work reasonably well. And occasionally you'd hit on an area where for whatever reason, it just didn't work. Now, maybe it was the campaigns did work, but the dog trainer wasn't answering the phone, or it could be that the area was bad. Who knows? It just didn't work. But you can determine that within typically the first month, or if you're just breaking even by the end of the first month, like I said, roll the dice, maybe do it for 1 additional month. Don't do it for 6 months. It doesn't make sense. Shut it off and deploy the money elsewhere into something else. If you're doing Google Ads, test Facebook, boosted posts, test Instagram story ads, test flyers, test postcards, test. It's all about testing and finding out what works in your market.